right, another video on LGBTQ plus stuff. I hope you guys are excited. It is Pride Month, so if you guys are wondering why this has basically been everything I've been talking about lately, it's basically because it's that time of year. Now, there are a few things in this story that I want to go over in a different video, so I'm gonna not highlight everything that's happening here or what my feelings are on certain types of things that are happening here. I'm just gonna put my opinions on some of the things, but expect a video on some of these other major topics within this story to get its own video. And in today's topic is about Shazam's star, Zachary Levi. Apparently for Zachary following an anti-LGBTQ plus Twitter account called Gays Against Groomers. And I guess this group is anti-LGBTQ plus, which makes no sense, especially when we go through their Twitter account a little bit and see what they're posting. They seemingly just post about not putting things into schools, not pushing kids into surgeries or using hormones or puberty blockers for that matter. They seemingly are 100% for the community. They're just against the little subgroup in the community that is trying to push this stuff onto children, essentially. It's really that cut and dry. To be honest with you, it really is. And again, we'll show you what I mean. Okay, so this article is a little long-winded, so I'm going to try to chop it down a little bit. I will leave the entire story in a link in the description down below if you guys are interested in reading it in its entirety. But the story begins. Shazam star Zachary Levi has come under fire for his social media presence on a number of occasions. Perhaps the most noteworthy was when he made some vulgar accusations about a pharmaceutical company, Pfizer, something many perceive as being an anti-vax statement. Things have taken another questionable turn anyway, as media critic Bob Chipman recently shared a screenshot showing that the DCEU star follows a Twitter account called Gays Against Groomers. That doesn't sound too bad on the surface, but despite the name, the group is alleged to be both far-right and anti-LGBTQ plus, protesting everything from drag queen storytime events and LGBTQ plus education in schools and gender-affirming care for minors. Now, I know that's a lot to unpack, okay? First off, I'm against drag queen story hours to be held for children, 100%, especially if you've seen a number of these videos of these drag queen storytime events. It's not exactly, okay.
Hello, hello, hello. We need diverse books. I am Little Miss Hot Mess from Drag Queen Story Hour. All right, I'm so excited to get to answer a few questions about my work and my book here.
Next up, LGBTQ education in schools. I went over that a little bit in my last video, and I don't think we should be teaching little kids about any kind of sex. Straight, gay, or otherwise, I don't care. At a certain age, for a block of time, sure, where parents receive like permission forms to agree or disagree to having their child participate, but we don't need to perpetuate these things in school at all. We don't need to have books that are very graphic and very gross for freaking children. You wonder why people use the word grooming so often? Maybe just check out my last video. But lastly is gender-affirming care for minors. So what they mean is cross-sex hormones and using things like Lupron to block puberty, which is used to sterilize pedophiles and basically remove their ability to getting aroused. And then all the way over to the surgery side with things like vaginoplasty and things like double mastectomies on healthy breasts on young girls. I'm sorry, call me crazy, but you can try to tell me whatever you want. But performing surgeries and giving kids drugs to block hormones or put them on a different path of hormones, I don't know, call me crazy. But I think if you're using cross-sex hormones or using puberty blockers on kids and also performing life-altering surgeries on children, I don't know how to process it any other way but wrong. I've said it before and I'll say it again. They can't vote, they can't smoke, they can't gamble, they can't drink, they can't join the military, they can't get a tattoo, but for some reason you think they can completely change their sex because you don't believe in like phases of a kid's life. You also don't believe that social media influencers aren't pushing kids into these thought processes, or that some parents themselves are pushing them in, and that's even more disgusting. So let's continue on. They've also been banned from a variety of social media platforms following accusations of promoting hate speech, while GLAAD has urged that Gays Against Groomers promotes an LGBT grooming conspiracy theory. Regardless of your political leanings and beliefs, this reflects very poorly on Levi and has led to other rounds of backlash from fans. He's yet to comment, and there's always a chance he's unaware of the group's true nature, which seems unlikely in all honesty. As noted, Shazam, Fury of the Gods was a box office bomb. Levi's performance came under fire on a number of levels, particularly when it came to the goofiness he brought to the character. With that in mind, we don't expect to see him play Shazam again, though Warner Brothers is happily calling The Flash starring Ezra Miller the greatest superhero movie ever made, so you never know. Just to make a point about the end of this statement about Ezra Miller was 1000% a groomer, and then at the beginning of this, they're saying that it's just a conspiracy. If you guys haven't seen what Ezra Miller's been up to in the past few years of his life, I highly urge you look some things up because it is wild. Like literally grooming to the max. And I'm not trying to make a broad statement that everybody in this community partakes in doing this kind of thing. But guys, that is the point of Gays Against Groomers Twitter account. The whole idea is to be like, it's not everyone in this community. There's just a certain group in this community that is trying to do do this to kids. If someone did that to the churches, I would be on board with them too. And maybe there is an account that does that. I just haven't found it. But the whole point is to call out the disgusting actions of people that are in your group. Doesn't matter what group you're in. There's always that little subsection of people that are terrible. I mean, you can boil it down to basic politics. I mean, you have right-leaning and left-leaning, and then you have the far sides of each, right? So why is it so absurd that there would be a far side ideology happening in the LGBTQ plus community? It really makes you wonder, honestly. So we're gonna hop into Gays Against Groomers Twitter page, and we're gonna see what's really going on here. It says in the description of the page, a 501c4 organization of gays against the sexualization, indoctrination, and medicalization of children under the guise of LGBTQ plus. Exactly what I was talking about. All right, let's go take a look at the page here. Let's look at the pinned comment first. It may be the first day of Pride Month, but there is no pride in sexualization, indoctrination, and mutilation of children. The rainbow has been hijacked by activists who are using it as a shield to push a dangerous agenda onto your kids. All right, they have like a little Pride Month intro video here. You guys are welcome to watch it. This video is not about that. I have watched it myself, and I pretty much agree with everything in that video. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and scroll down and see what's happening here. And they post things like, what is the right that trans people do not currently have in the Western world? And no, mutilating and sterilizing children isn't a right. Pretty base. It seems pretty fair. And they just have pictures of their trucks here talking about they go to Pride events and let people know they should take their kids home during these Pride events. And they have this little video here on why they would want to do that. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at this video because I think this one's quite interesting actually. So let's go ahead and open this up. We'll start at the beginning with these kids on the streets. Oh, you know it's gonna be good. Here we go. Right out the gate, it's already looking fantastic, as you guys can see. This is what we want to expose children to, I guess. Just insane, dude. Just insane. I'm really happy for this kid being 100% distracted by whatever else is happening here with another kid. They're not even looking. This one might be okay. But I want to make it clear that all these parents who have their kids out here are terrible human beings. You can yell at me in the comments all you want. This is a trash way to raise your children. Just because you can parent the way you want, that's totally fine. It's up to you. Doesn't make you a non-trash parent. And events like that are allowing children to be there is just one part of the issue that they try to combat. I'm not going to go through their entire Twitter feed, but I will leave a link to the Twitter account in the description down below. I did make a comment in my last video that we have quite a few gay people that have been in the comment section in my more recent videos saying they're against most of this kind of stuff too. And it's because of these base people that are in these groups is why I haven't completely given up on our country or society as a whole. Kids just need to be kids. And like Nick Merck said, should leave the little children alone. And you guys, that is the end of the video. Be sure to leave a comment down below. And don't forget to like the video or dislike the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, I appreciate your guys' time and I will see you in the next one. Peace.